Nvidia will stop including China in its forecast amid U.S. chip export controls, the CEO says. Jensen Huang, CEO of Nvidia, at the conference in Paris on June 11th. Paris CNN. Chipmaker Nvidia will exclude the Chinese market from its revenue and profit forecast following the imposition of tough U.S. restrictions on chip sales into China, its CEO said Thursday. Asked whether the U.S. will lift the export controls after trade talks with China in London this week, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang told CNN's Anna Stewart in Paris, "I'm not counting on it. But if it happens, then it will be a great bonus. I've told all of our investors and shareholders that going forward, our forecast will not include the China market." In recent years, Washington has stepped up Apple to restrict China's access to American chip-related technologies, aiming to prevent Beijing from using U.S. innovations to bolster its military and artificial intelligence capabilities. The Huang's comment underscored the impact of Washington's chip curve on Nvidia, a company once best known for its video game graphics processors that has profited tremendously from growing demand for AI chips and infrastructure. The company blew past Wall Street's revenue expectations in its first quarter of 2025, posting a 69% increase from the same period last year. But Nvidia missed out on additional $2.5 billion in revenue because export restrictions prevented it from shipping its H20 AI chips to China. The company developed that chip specifically to accommodate U.S. export controls, but was told in April that it would need a special license to do so. Nvidia took a smaller hit than expected from the excess inventory. However, a $4.5 billion charge compared to the $5.5 billion it had expected. Kevin Hesset, a director of the U.S. National Economic Council, told the CNBC Monday that the Trump administration might be open to loosening restrictions on export of some microchips that China views as critical to its manufacturing sector. But the United States will maintain curve on very, very high-end Nvidia chips that are capable of powering AI systems, he added. On Thursday, Nvidia's Huang again criticized the U.S. chip export controls. The goals of the export controls are not being achieved, he told CNN. Whatever those goals are that are being discussed initially, they are apparently not working. And so I think with all export controls, the goals have to be well articulated and tested over time. Last month, Huang said at a news conference in Taiwan that the U.S. curve on chip export were a failure and warned that the restrictions are doing more damage to American business than to China. Nvidia's position as the critical supplier of AI chips has put Putin in the middle of the tech race between the US and China, which escalated earlier this year with the arrival of Chinese tech startup DeepSeek, supposedly cheap yet sophisticated AI model. The Trump administration has been eager to position the U.S. as the leader in AI, with Vice President J.D. Vance saying that excessive regulation of the AI sector could kill a transformative industry just as it's taking off. During a remark at the Artificial Intelligence Action Summit in Paris earlier this year, Dan Ives, the global head of the technology research at Wedbush Securities, saying easing export controls could be necessary to prevent China from gaining an edge in AI. With the AI revolution hitting its next gear of the gloss, it is important for China tech players. They can access to Nvidia chips with the current H20 ban, essentially handing a good portion of Nvidia's business directly to Huawei on a silver platter, he wrote in a June 11th industry note. In the meantime, Nvidia continues to expand, aiming to cement its place as the major AI player globally. Huang announced on Thursday that his company will build the world's first cloud computing platform for industrial artificial intelligence applications in Europe. It also said each Blackwell architecture will power new AI infrastructure project in Europe. Olesia Dimitrakova and Claire Duffy contributed to this article.